This is my third video in the series of Jews Not for Jesus. You know, the proselytizers always like to throw verses at you. And I can deal with every one of the verses. I'm sure a lot of people can't, but why don't you throw verses back at them? For example, I gave you in my other videos the verse from Numbers 12, which says that God spoke to only Moses mouth to mouth. But here's another one. You ask him about Numbers 23:19. It says, God is not a mortal that he should lie, nor a man that he should change his mind. God is not a mortal or a man. So clearly in the Torah it says God is not a mortal or a man. So how can anybody come and say God is a human being? Now, the pagan religions thought that, the Romans thought that about the Caesars, the Egyptians thought that about Pharaoh. So how is Christianity any different than those pagan religions when it says that God is a man? It clearly violates the Bible. Then, how about the Ten Commandments? Do not have any other gods before me. I don't know, he says, do not have any other gods before me. So how does the Trinity work then, not in violation of that verse? If you have to go to Jesus to get to God, the Father, then that is another God before me. Doesn't make any sense. So Jews certainly can't believe this and still follow the Ten Commandments. You know, Judaism is unique among the world religions that all the others started with a human being. You got Jesus, you got Buddha, you got Muhammad, you got Confucius, you got Lao Tse, where this individual did all these miracles and they're God, or the venerated one. Judaism is the only great world religion that only has God. We have teachers and prophets, but we started with God, calling Moses. And Judaism is the one exception. The entire nation stood at Mount Sinai and heard God introduce himself, didn't have to go through anybody else. And finally, I just want to read you the text of Deuteronomy 13, verse 2, because it's very important in this regard. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer, and he gives you a sign or a miracle, now think about Jesus in the New Testament, and a sign or miracle comes to pass, and he calls on you saying, let us go after other gods, whom you have not known, and let us worship them. You shall not listen to that prophet or dreamer, for God is testing you to see whether you love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. God is clearly here warning us about movements which claim to introduce a new God. So look, again, Christianity is perfectly fine. Christians should be Christians. It's a perfectly fine religion for Christians. It's just not for Jews. And any Jew who leaves Judaism, like the so-called Jews for Jesus or Messianic Jews, are simply committing religious treason. And they're violating all of our most sacred texts here. So they can pray like Jews, they can dress like Jews, they can talk like Jews, they can eat like Jews, but they are not Jews. There's no such thing as Jews for Jesus. It is Jews not for Jesus. It's Jews for Judaism.